OPAL operates under a consensus decision-making model. That means that when our board meets, and 1/3 of our board of directors are residents of our homes representing the low-income community. So when our board meets, they talk through things in enough detail so that everybody in the group can agree to a decision. It does mean that if one person doesn't feel comfortable, feels like the direction we're headed is not in the best interest of the organization, that person could block consensus. In our experience, those moments have resulted in much greater depth of thought. And our experience so far is that even in very difficult times, this model of decision-making works very well for us. OPAL Community Land Trust was founded in 1989 on Orcas Island in Washington State. We build and steward permanently affordable housing for the residents of this community. In 2007, we started our largest ever neighborhood. We started construction on a neighborhood of 32 homes called Wild Rose Meadow. And one of our most complex decisions arose when the Great Recession hit.
With the downturn of the economy in 2008, the OPAL board was faced with considerable challenges to the Wild Rose Meadow project. Where would we be able to get the money at a reasonable rate to complete the project? If it took 5 years to pay it back, would this make sense financially? And there were other complications equally as problematic. If we shut down this project, what would it mean to the 17-member crew working on it? And the loss of this construction could have an impact on our fragile island economy. And what about the families counting on buying those homes? 9 of the 14 homes were pre-sold, but 5 of the houses did not yet have qualified purchasers. So we struggled both with the concern that 9 families were counting on us moving forward, but we weren't guaranteed that there would be purchasers for the other 5 houses.
The discussions about what to do about whether or not to assume debt at Wild Rose Meadow continued for some months. The board would ask questions, and we as staff would do some research, bring back answers to the board. They'd ask more questions. Ultimately, the board reached a level of comfort, but decided that before making such a monumental decision, they wanted to seek some advice from people who'd supported the organization. And so they convened a group of what we might call a council of elders. Individuals who had supported the work of the organization either by donating their time or donating funds. And we met with that group twice. They also had questions after the first presentation. We asked them to consider the various issues. And then when we met with them again and brought them back answers, they all unanimously agreed that the best thing for this organization and for our community as a whole would be to assume the debt and continue with construction. Expanding consensus to a larger group of people had a number of benefits for us. First of all, it gave the board confidence that a broader audience of people believed that what we were doing was right. And second, it assured us that our financial backers, our supporters, were also behind us. I'm happy to say that the story does have a number of happy endings, actually no bad endings. The neighborhood was completed, and we managed to keep a significant number of construction workers in our community employed during the Great Recession. We borrowed the money from 2 local nonprofits who were looking for a way to invest money that they had in a manner that felt consistent with their missions and also provided them with a decent return. And it's now 4 years later. We have raised the money and are going to be able to repay those loans. And most importantly, there are 14 families who have been on our waiting list and are now own their homes, living in their homes, and going about their lives being part of our community.